Sixth grade was a major turning point in my life. All through my school years I was bullied, elementary school even. I still am bullied today, but even through that, in middle school, I was able to become accustomed to the middle school and managed to settle myself in quite easily, despite all the criticism that I faced. I never sat with anyone usually, but one day I decided I'd sit next to my lab partner who was in my fourth period. So I sit down. She's to the right of me. I'm sitting at the end of the table where nobody's sitting to my left. And she had a couple friends that she was sitting with anyway. I just happened to sit myself down, say, hey, I'm sitting here today. And so across from me was her friend from her elementary school, who later became my best friend, as we became inseparable after that day, in sixth grade, 6 years ago. I'm not going to be talking about the person that was to the right of me, so I'm going to talk about the person that was sitting in front of me. His name is Ethan Hodge. He sat across from me, of course. I don't remember much of that day, other than the fact that we became inseparable. We were always together every chance we got. If you made fun of one of us, you made fun of us both. That's how it went. We were both bullied, if that last sentence wasn't clear. He had it a bit worse than I did, though. People would make fun of him just because of him being a bit more nerdy than the rest of the people out there that played sports. So every once in a while I would have to stand up for him when somebody made fun of him, calling him mean names and everything. And it got to the point where I started getting in trouble a bit, and he would just sit there. Well, later on, he managed to teach me to keep myself quiet, especially in classrooms, because that was when I got myself in trouble most. And in turn, I've taught him to stand up for himself. Now he's 30 miles away, next town over, and he stood up for himself. When I found out, I was so proud. He stood up against me one time too. But we've managed to we have just a distance between us, but we've managed to still stay attached through phone calls, video chats, everything. Even go to see him a couple of times. And even though my mother has separated us before and wouldn't let me see him for about a year, we were still close and still are. I may not have known what kind of a friend that I had just made 6 years ago, but I know he's not just a friend and not just a best friend. He's my brother.